What if I told you that by the end of this video, you will walk away with one of the most powerful and important tools for your CA Final May 25 preparations? And guess what? It's absolutely free of charge. Hello everyone, this is Bhavik Chokshi here, and we at Benchmarx Academy have you all covered for your CA Final preps so that you can go ahead with full planning and ace your May 25 exams. Now over the next few minutes, I will share with you a very detailed and customizable study planner and tracker for all your subjects of CA Final, along with a lot of bonus tips for managing these next 150 days, which are absolutely crucial and critical for your preparations. So please do stay on by the end of this video, where we will help you on how to use this study planner and tracker in the most efficient manner. So what are we going to cover in this video? First, how many revisions do you need for your preparations? Second, what is the number of hours or days that you should allocate for each subject? Third, what is the sequence that you should use while taking up these subjects? And fourth, if you prefer studying multiple subjects in a day, which are those subjects that efficiently club so that you can use your time very effectively? And fifth, and the most important one, is the study planner and tracker that we have developed, and how to use that tracker in the most efficient way. Now, before we go ahead, how did we develop that tracker? Well, we actually ran multiple polls on our Telegram channel, where thousands of students who have given the November 24 exams actually contributed, and they kind of shared their feedback. So this is very important because this is from students who have been there, done that, and hence it is very realistic and not just idealistic. So a big shout out to all the November 24 students who really helped us in kind of with their inputs and helping us developing this tracker. So let us go into each of these points. First, how many revisions do you need? Well, the general consensus is you will need 3 revisions. Now at first it might appear that, do I have enough time for 3 revisions? Yes, definitely yes. And we have heard that even 2 revisions will work. Well, probably it does work. However, when you're starting planning, it is best that if you plan for 3. If there is some contingency and if you are unable to complete 3, at least you have 2, and that in general will help you go through. But if you actually plan with 2, well, you are left with no buffer and contingency, and then you are out in the open. So let's go ahead and start with planning for 3 revisions in the most effective manner. Secondly, what or how many days should we allot for each of these subjects? So over here, as you can see, over here we have given you effective days that you'll need for each subject for the first, second and third revision. If you prefer studying a single subject or a day, or effective days that you will need if you are planning to club 2 subjects. So either ways, you will have this in front of you. Now, generally for bigger topics like FR or DT, we have allocated close to 15 odd days, 15 to 16 days, whereas for other subjects like audit or IDT, maybe around 10 to 12 days, and then maybe slightly more for AFM. Also, we have given some allocation for SPOM and IBS, which you should be doing slightly later at the course of your first revision, and also for the other revisions. Fair. So now we know approximately how many subjects or how many days do we allocate for each subject depending on when we start. And again, this tracker is very customizable depending on when you start, and we'll explain that in some time. Third, what is the sequence of subjects that you should pick up? Now, preferably, I would say that if you're planning to, let us say, assuming you're planning to start on 1st December or maybe even 1st January, preferably start up with FR along with audit. They have a good interlinkage. Then you go to taxes, DT and IDT. Again, you have a fairly good interlinkage. And then you go to AFM along with your IBS and SPOM, and this sequence you can follow even for subsequent revisions. Now over here, AFM along with IBS and SPOM. So your timing for IBS and SPOM over here, especially for SPOM, can act as a buffer. So in case you tend to overshoot your earlier plan, maybe you can cover it up in your SPOM preparations because you have some buffer embedded at the end. Now, fourth, if I prefer studying 2 subjects a day, and that is what most of the students prefer, how do we club these 2 subjects? Now, ideally, you will divide your day into 3 slots. First, the morning slot and the afternoon slot will be dedicated to one of the subjects, let's say FR, which is a slightly bigger subject that you are picking up along with audit. Let us say the evening slot where you will take the other subject which is relatively smaller, let us say audit. Or if you're doing DT and IDT, maybe the first 2 slots you can allocate to DT, and then the evening slot you can allocate to IDT, so you are kind of not burnt out studying just a single subject. Having said that, these are just suggestive patterns. That is what we believe which works best. You can always modify that based on which 2 subjects you want to club and you want to prepare. And now lastly, the most important part on what is this tracker and how will we kind of use and modify this. So over here, we have prepared various trackers depending on the dates that you prefer to start. However, let us say if I assume 1st December, over here, as you can see, you will see how many days do you need to allocate to each of these subjects if I'm studying a single subject a day. So we have given over here that ideally this should get over by 14th of February. 75 days. And how do you break up those 75 days? That is exactly given over here in your summary goals, and we have kind of embedded that into the detailed day-to-day plan as well. So sir, but I cannot start on 12th December 1st, maybe I'll start with December 15th. No problem. What you will do over here is, depending on the date that you need, you will just put in the date when you plan to effectively start your revision. So if you look at 15 December, you see that the days automatically got modified. So your first revision, instead of 75 days, you'll have to complete in 68 days. Second revision, maybe 41 days, and so on with the third revision. Generally, the time allocated to the second revision will be 60% of that of the first revision, and that of the third revision will be 60% of that of the second revision. Once the learning curve sets in, you will be able to easily manage this. Now, within those 68 days, how many days will be taken by each of these subjects? You can see that these number of days will automatically get modified, and your number of days, if you are doing 2 subjects a day, will also automatically get modified. Sir, our study leaves will start on 1st of January. Our principals are not allowing us. Well, no problem. You put whatever date. It's not necessary it has to be 1st January or 1st December as the case. Maybe you just modify your dates, and you will see that this plan will automatically modify in a way that your overall targets, you know the exact dates. So if you start on 1st January, you will have 2 months, that is 60 days to complete your first revision, approximately 35 or 36 days by 6th of April to complete your second revision, and then around 20-21 days for your third revision. And in each of them, you have the days, so that you are very clearly aware of how much time you have, and you can track this very efficiently. So over here, let us say if I go back to my 1st December plan, over here, this is your overall goals, but the devil is in the detail, right? So when you want to break it down into a daily basis, how will you do that? So here I'm assuming that you're studying 2 subjects on a day. Let us say you start on 1st December. Don't get worried. You might always start by 15th December as well, your proper revisions. So over here, you'll have on 1st December, your first revision, let's say for FR and audit. Like FR is likely to take around 15 odd days, audit is likely to take around 10 odd days, and hence if you total this up, it will take around 25 days. So over here for the first revision, we are saying that the first 25 days you allocate to FR and audit. And over here, if possible, you can put the chapters target or your actual chapters, whatever you do. Preferably, if you can put the chapters targeted on probably on a daily basis and then see how well it works, that will be great. Again, for these individual subjects, at least for FR and AFM, I'll share in the next few days a very detailed plan on how do you cover these massive subjects over the course of your, let's say, first revision to start with, and maybe you can use that as a base over here. We'll be sharing this on our YouTube channel, so please ensure that you subscribe it and also press the bell icon so you don't miss out on the notifications. So this is, for example, your first revision for FR and audit. After that, your DT and IDT will start. Another DT will around 15 odd days, IDT around 10 full effective days. So that is total 25 days. And hence this will go on, let us say, till I think 19th January. After that, you pick up AFM. Sir, AFM we do later. Well, even the second and third revisions, we'll probably do AFM a little later, because when you go to your exams, FR will be your first paper followed by AFM. So you want to ensure that AFM is the last thing that we revise before FR, so that 1.5 days of AFM we can use most effectively, because we have prepared it very recently, just before the FR paper. And AFM ke saath we have clubbed IBS. So IBS you can do case study digest or other resources that can be that you have access to, and SPOM, because you also have to do costing and law. So over here we have even dedicated some time to costing and law, and this can act as your buffer. So if you don't have enough time, or if you have unfortunately kind of overshot the number of days in some of the earlier subjects, you can kind of cover this up in your SPOM, and maybe you can utilize that time in your second revision. But your core 5 subjects, obviously including even IBS, the 6th paper, is something that you should not be compromising. So we will share this Excel on our Telegram channel. Ensure that you kind of download it and probably review that properly. Apart from this one standard plan, if you see various tabs, we have given various other plans where we have modified the dates depending on where you have started. Maybe 1st January, maybe 15 December, maybe 15 January for 2 subjects, for 1 subject. So these are the plans even on a daily basis. So your summary will always change depending on which date you add. However, your detailed plan, well, if you are not starting on 1st December or 15th or 1st January, you might have to kind of customize or modify it. And with so much time that you have spent in articleship, I think you should be able to do it quite well. You will not face any problems over there. Okay, so that should be it. Now you just have close to 150 days from, let's say, from the 1st of December. And these are the 150 days that separate you from your desired goal. And who knows if you use them efficiently, even from an AIR. So over here, please be mindful that you use these 150 days properly, and probably this tracker will help you a lot in ensuring that you are focused on target and you don't deviate in the course of your preparations. During the course of your preparations, remember, it is like a marathon for you and not a sprint. So ensure that you put one foot in front of the other on a daily basis. It is like saying that when you want to, let us say, develop abs, you go to the gym, yes. However, if you keep on looking at your abs on a daily basis, you see there is no change. You should not get motivated by that. Ensure that when you go to the gym regularly, the magic does happen over a period of 6 months, and suddenly, boom, you have those abs with you. You have the 6-pack. The same is the case with your exams. If you track it on a day-to-day basis, apparently you might see that you're not headed anywhere. However, it is all happening. You're moving closer and closer to your target, and probably this study tracker and planner will even help you keeping a track of that. So ensure that you stick to the process. Like the great MS Dhoni says, that focus on the process, not the result. And it's easier said than done. However, it is the result that gives you the pressure. Will I pass? Will I fail? What happens if I don't? That is the result. Now, with all due respect for such professional courses, the result is not something that you can directly control. But the process over those 150 days is something you can. You're feeling tired, ensure you still probably pick up that book. You're feeling a little down, ensure that you spend something or the other. There would be days where you are doing well. There would be days where you might kind of feel a little bogged down, but ensuring that you kind of hit the gym, in this case your study tables, on a daily basis, consistently, day after day, will ensure that you are very close to your target the best you can. As everyone says, manifestation is very powerful, and if possible, try to manifest. Give positive affirmations. Put a comment in this video and say that I will clear May 25. On the days when you are feeling a little down, come back over here and probably see that your resolve that you had when you started, and best, after probably half a year or so, once you get your coveted prefix, come back over here and just see that what you manifested has actually happened, but ensure that you kind of back yourself positively. Okay, so I guess that should be it for today. Thank you very much for your time and your patience, and I hope this study planner helps you a lot in managing your study time and streamlines your preparations such that kind of you achieve your desired goal. So 150 days for you. Ensure that you use your time properly. I wish you all the very best, to each and every one of you, and put in all the efforts. We are there with you as well, and together we will crack May 2025 very well. Good luck, goodbye, and see you soon.